Hey, what is going on guys? Ramis Stealth here, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at some of the new strong picks here in patch 7.14. So there's actually quite a few new pretty good champions in this patch, and I think this patch is one of the biggest ones we've had recently, to where it's going to shift the meta quite a bit, and there's going to be a lot of new champions here that are getting a lot stronger in this patch. Now, before we get into the video, I want to announce my first sponsorship on the channel, who is GG Energy. Now, I just want to let you guys know that I will never accept a sponsorship unless I've tried the product myself and I actually like it myself and it's something that I would use. And I've tried GG Energy. It's actually really good tasting. It's a lot better in my opinion than G Fuel. It's also a lot better than the energy drinks that you're gonna buy at the store. Now, if you guys do decide to pick some up, then I have a 10% discount code down in the description below. So first up here, we're going to be taking a look at a class of champions that is getting stronger in this patch. I don't think there's too much point in going over these champions separately, so we're just going to do them all at once here. And these champions are the lethality champions. So I think that Miss Fortune is very strong in this patch. The lethality build on her is back, and I think she's a top tier AD carry. She is definitely S tier for solo queue in this patch. And then also Talon, Quinn, Wukong, Jace, all of these lethality champions that can just use those items super effectively are getting stronger in this patch right now due to the lethality changes. Now, if we move on to taking a look at the champions that are getting stronger in this patch, the first one here is Ramis, and Ramis is really good in the jungle in my opinion for this patch right now. With the recent changes to Thornmail, with Ramis also getting buffed in this patch, and then also with the recent changes to Righteous Glory, I think Ramis is just great in this patch right now, especially in certain situations. If the enemy team does have a heavy AD composition, then I think Ramis is like a must pick in this patch. He's very strong with that new Thornmail. You can rush, like what a build would look like on Ramis in this patch would be Cinder Hulk. That got buffed as well, so that's another reason to why he's stronger. You go Cinder Hulk, Righteous Glory, Thornmail, and you're just gonna be super hard to kill. Your engage is gonna be really good once you pop that Righteous Glory, and the Righteous Glory being a viable item now on Ramis kind of covers up his weakness, because you can kite Ramis pretty easily due to the fact that he doesn't have that gap closer. But when he pops that Righteous Glory, he's going to be coming at you at like 600 or 700 movement speed, or just a crazy high movement speed, and it's going to be very hard to kite him. So overall in this patch, Ramis in the jungle is a great pick, and I'd be looking to pick him up. Next up here is going to be another jungler, and another very interesting jungler in Chogath. So Chogath got some changes this patch to his E, his Q, and his W. The main changes here that are going to bring him back into the meta, in my opinion though, are the changes to his E. So what they did is they kind of reworked his E here. They made it into a new ability to where your next 3 basic attacks are going to launch spikes. So not every single basic attack now when you have your E active is going to launch the spikes. You activate it, and then your next 3 attacks are going to shoot out the spikes. Now what these spikes do is they now provide a slow. It's a 30% slow that decays over 1.5 seconds at rank 1, and once you have that maxed out, it goes up to a 50% slow. It also deals 4% of the target's maximum health plus 0.5% per each feast stack. It also is an auto attack reset. It grants you 50 bonus range, and overall this ability is just super strong now, because I think the way people are playing Chogath in this patch is they're going Righteous Glory, and what they do is they pop the Righteous Glory, they get into the auto attack range to use their E, and they get the slow off on the opponent. That allows them to very easily line up the Q for the knock up, and you just get a lot of CC chain now with the Chogath. Your sticking power is a lot better due to the change to his E as well, and then he also got just overall some nice buffs to his Q and his W. His Q mana cost got decreased by 30, which is actually quite a bit, and the silence duration on his W got increased at earlier ranks. In my opinion, Chogath jungle is going to be very strong right now in this patch. You go Cinder Hulk on him, you go Righteous Glory, and then after that you go Stoneplate Locket, and the Stoneplate Locket combo on Chogath is absolutely nuts. So if you're looking for a new tank jungler in 7.14, then I'd be looking to pick up Chogath. The next champion here is going to be a top laner, and it's one that I'm not too excited that he might be coming back into the meta, but it's Singed. So Singed in this patch overall got buffs to pretty much all of his abilities. His base health got increased, his health growth got increased, his passive got changed to where it now grants you bonus movement speed when you end up running by an opponent. His Q's AP ratio got increased. The W got quite a few changes, so I'm not going to go too much into detail about those. His E's mana cost got decreased, his ultimate mana cost got decreased, so overall Singed got some really good buffs in this patch. Now what a lot of people are doing right now on Singed in 7.14 is they're no longer going for the mana items on him anymore. What they're doing is they're going for the Rylai's, Righteous Glory, and Liandry's as their core build. Now the reason for this is because his passive did get changed, so your passive on Singed is no longer going to gain you bonus health based on your maximum mana, and that's kind of why his base health also got increased. So you no longer really want to go for those mana items, or you don't want to stack them on Singed anymore. So like the Dark Seal, it might not be as effective on him in this patch anymore, going for like 3 Dark Seals, but the main build right now is going for more AP because the Q AP ratio did get increased for him, so that's going to allow you to do quite a bit more damage now. And overall in this patch, Singed is performing very well, so if you've played him before and you're looking to pick him up again in this patch, then he is doing very well in 7.14. If we head down to the bot lane now and take a look at a support champion here in Taric, Taric has gotten a lot better right now in this patch. I think he's actually a really good pick into a lot of the meta support champions like Blitzcrank and like Thresh. The main reason for it is because Taric actually doesn't really mind getting hooked by a Thresh or a Blitzcrank because he is somewhat tanky, and he also does have his E, which if the enemy ends up hooking him, he can just use his E to either kite back or try to turn the trade. He's not like these other support champions like Janna or Soraka, to where if they get hooked, they don't really have any way to turn the fight, and they're also very squishy. So that's why those support champions like Thresh and Blitz do well against those squishy supports. But for Taric right now, they increased the base damage on his E by 40 at rank 1, which is actually quite a bit. So that's going to help his early game trading out a lot in the laning phase, and it's going to allow him to just play a little bit more aggressive in lane and look to go for those stuns and look to go for those all-ins. His Q also did get buffed, but I'm no Taric main, so I'm not going to go ahead and try to explain the changes too much. It looks like his Q did get a change to where it now is going to scale off of your maximum health, so that's really good for any tank support champion. If you do have an ability that scales off of health, then it's going to make you a lot stronger. I know that Braum's Q scales off of max health, so this is a really nice change to Taric, and I think in certain matchups in this patch, he's definitely a very good pick. And then the final champion here that is a lot stronger in this patch for solo queue is Garen. Now you're probably never gonna see Garen in the competitive scene because his kit just isn't very strong for that, but for solo queue and especially for the lower elos, I think Garen is a very viable pick now in this patch, and I actually think he could be top tier for 7.14. They changed his passive to where it's now only going to scale from level 1 and then to level 11, and once you do get level 11 on Garen, your passive is actually a lot stronger than what it was in previous patches. It's going to give you a lot more health regen now earlier on into the game, so that's a really nice buff for the mid game for Garen. Now the change to his W here I think is what's making him a lot stronger in this patch right now. The change to his passive is also very nice, but the change to his W, whenever you activate it now, you grant 60% or you get 60% damage reduction for the first 0.75 seconds that it's active. Now in the laning phase, I think this is just super strong when you're trading with Garen, because for example, if you're playing against someone like a Darius and he tries to go in for a Q on you or something, you can pop your W and basically take no damage from that Darius Q, and you can just automatically basically win trades whenever your W is up. So if you do use this correctly now as Garen, it does add a little bit more, I guess, skill to his kit, because if if you do use this at the correct time, it's a very, very strong ability, and it can definitely help you win a lot of trades in the laning phase. His E also got, I guess, a decent buff to where the total attack damage ratio got increased by 2% at all ranks, but when you're playing Garen, most players don't go for a lot of attack damage on him, so I don't think this is the buff that's making him a lot stronger. I think the passive change and the W change is very nice for Garen for solo queue, so if you want to pick up Garen in the top lane in this patch, I think he is a much stronger pick. So that is going to be it for all of the new strong champions here in patch 7.14. If you guys do think there is some other champions that have also gotten quite a bit better in this patch that I've missed in this video, then be sure to let me know down in the comments below. But with that being said, guys, thanks for watching, have an awesome day, and I will see you in my next video.